bait right there. So this first wheel was 1.5 ounces off, which is definitely why I was feeling a vibration once I got up to speed. 1/4 ounce, you're not going to feel that. Not even in speed, you're not even going to feel that. So that's where and that was even, it had 1 ounce of weights on it, and I peeled this off because it was 1.5 ounces off. I peeled this off, and it was still 1.5 ounces off. So now we're just 1/4 ounce on all of them, on both sides, so that should be good. As for the brakes, so I'm trying to clean these up. I'm using some iron dissolver. This stuff stinks, but I don't think that's iron. That's more like pitting and stuff. You can see that purple color on the ground. That's from it eating iron, but that's coming off the rotor. This is a degreaser. I am really been trying to clean this thing up, make it look a little bit more presentable, but it does not want to clean off. Oh, that stuff stinks. Now, I don't even really need to clean these off. I was just doing it to hope it would look better, and it doesn't look like they're going to get much better than what they already are. I could use like a wire brush or something on it, and it's going to end up etching the paint, screwing the paint up on it, and then, I mean, yeah, you won't see where it says Cadillac at, but my rotors have not made it yet. I ordered new rotors, new pads, so these pads you can change out without removing the calipers. There's 2 pins, and then the pads come out through the back. But we have to remove the caliper anyway to put the new rotor on. So the backing plates look like brand new, and the rotors just look like crap. Normally, when you have rotors that look like crap, your backing plates also look like crap. But anyways, also this front guard, if you notice, this is not brand new. You want to know why? Because the brand new one came in, and it was so nice, I was like, that's going on my car. So this one came off of my car. It has one cracked area, small area right there, but besides that, it's fully fine, fully functional. So this is going to go on this car. It was just like, I seen it, I was like, man, that's a nice cover. It would look better under my vehicle. So that's what happened. So we'll not be throwing that wheel back on yet. We got to balance all 4 wheels and do that plate. And then I got to wait for the brakes to get here. So my only guess is this thing had this passenger caliper replaced. This is, it looks really nice, and it's a different color. Like, the other side is like a white with the dark Cadillac and Brembo emblem. This one is dark with a white Cadillac and Brembo emblem. So it's like opposite of what the other side is. Plus, this one is in a lot better shape than the other one. I did just wipe it down, but it was also not that bad. So I'm going to guess this one was replaced at one point in time. I'm not replacing the other one. I think this is how the ones are on my parts car, but I'm keeping those. I think these are really nice calipers, and I think they'll come in handy down the road on something. But anyways, let's get this thing up in the air, put that new plate underneath it, and I got a new toy off of the TikTok shop, whatever. I had to kind of rig it, but I got one of my cameras on it. And this thing tracks you. It's got a camera built onto it that tracks your motion, and then it follows you. It moves it back and forth. So I'm going to use this camera. Yeah, I have rubber bands on there. It wanted to fall out. So it'll work. Let's try it. Over here, cameraman. My honest opinion, somebody was already in here. These pads are fairly new. The rotor, I'd say, was fairly new, but it sat for a long period of time, or they ran it in bad weather a lot. I don't know if I'm going to throw those pads out, because they're good pads. This backing plate looks brand new, not rusted at all. There's no rust on it anywhere. So I think it's brand new. And like I said, this caliper, I think, is an old caliper where, well, on the other side, I'm pretty sure they replaced it. And this isn't like your normal caliper. I mean, these things are freaking light. It's ridiculous. It has 4 pistons instead of just 2 on one side. So it's pushing from both sides whenever you brake. And you can see they're barely even out. That's what I mean. Like, this rotor, I would think, is almost new, even though it looks like crap. I just think it was bad weather. And then the pads. I'm going to get my tool in here and try to compress this. There's really not much to do, but I'm going to try to at least get this compressed in a little bit. Now we're in flat. Now if you didn't notice, when I was using this, I went really slow because I used this on my truck and I didn't go so slow and I blew a piston seal out. So yeah, take your time with these. Now on this side, the pads wore uneven. You can see it's thinner on the top side than it is the bottom side there. They're just weren't. And this is where the adjustment is, just in the pads. The brake calipers mount solid, and then those move. So I don't know why it was wearing bad, but we do not have our new rotors yet or brake pads, so I can't go any further than this today. I'm hoping they get here tomorrow before we go to Tennessee. But regardless, we cleaned these up. I put rust reformer on those hubs there, and after I cleaned them up, so the rotors have a smooth surface to bolt to, and it's protected, and it doesn't get rusty like it did before. But I wire brushed all them and stuff. That backing plate looks fairly new on this side as well. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, with the parts, so I can slap this thing back together. Now I need to take it for an alignment, but I guess I didn't say. 2 of these wheels were really far out. One was 1.5 ounces off, and the other one was 2.5 ounces off. So it's definitely the vibration we was feeling at speed. So one was on a front wheel, and one was a back wheel. I'm about numb to this car now. I decided to do something else before I went in today. I noticed one of the lower control arms was a little bent, and I thought I could straighten that back out. Okay, so the one on that side was fine. I did manage to get this a lot straighter than what it was. It was bowed down, surprisingly. I don't know how that even happened, unless Copart hooked the forks on top of that instead of underneath it. But regardless, it was bent down, and it's supposed to be straight. It's supposed to have a little bend here, and that's it, and it's supposed to be straight. So you can see it's still a little bent, not bad. But here's what I did. I heated it up and then used a pry bar in here, and let me just show you something here. I destroyed the ball joint when I did that, as you can see. So $90 later, I ordered another one, because I would have just took it off the parts car, but the all-wheel drive one has a different arm than the two-wheel drive one. Even though they look the same, there's something different about them. They have different part numbers, so I had to order it. I'm kind of numb to it now. It's like, yep, might as well just order it. Which is also probably why our alignment was off. But get that on there before I take it to get an alignment. Ordered it. Obviously, this isn't going to be done before I go to Tennessee, so the part will come while I'm there. Hopefully, I can throw this back together then. So I took it off and did you the pleasure of dissecting it here. That is the plastic that the ball joint in there sits in. Yeah, I melted it whenever I was heating all this up. So, I mean, regardless, this needed replaced. As you can see, all-wheel drive stamped on it. Yeah. So, it's out of there. You can do it with everything on there. You just have to take a couple bolts out of this shield and a couple out of this to drop this down, and then you can get to it. Alright, we can throw these on, but I still don't have a lower control arm over here, so let's just do what we can for now. Alright, now I'm not going to say it's going to be done after the control arm comes in, because I just don't want to jinx myself. So, once it gets in, which more than likely is going to be after my Tennessee trip, because I leave on Monday, today's Saturday. I just ordered it last night. No chance it's going to be here tomorrow. So, finish this video when I get back after vacation. And behind the scenes, I'm getting ready for the C10. Okay, have you guys ever used Evaporust? I bought a jug of that stuff, and it's, yeah, good stuff. So got a jug of that, and I did some of the hardware for the C10. All of this was rusty. That just soaked for a day. Check that out. Pretty good looking. So I got all the fender hardware and stuff in this one, and then this is all the bigs. There's some bumper bolts in here. The door hinge hardware and stuff like that was all rusty. It's in here. So I'm gonna let this stuff soak. That way, whenever we do finally get to work on this thing, I'm gonna have rust-free hardware to put back in this thing, which will make it look a lot better. On top of all that, this stuff's reusable, so I still have a whole bunch left here. This is the jug that I used to do these. I had to dump a little bit more in for all the rest of the fender hardware and stuff, so it's like really dark. And this is stuff I just dumped in there, so you can see it's not that dark yet. It's reusable. Get another container after you use it and dump the used stuff into a container so you can soak parts in it again. Reusable. If you really want to get, thorough on that, filter it through a couple rags or something like that into a container, so then it'll be a little bit cleaner whenever but I mean, really, you don't need to. It just needs to soak. Look at this stuff bubbling. It's eating rust right now. And it's non-toxic. Like, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but when I get a good product and I like it, I let you guys know. So, like, I bought this myself. I like it. So now you guys know. Alright, so here we are. A week since I've come back from Tennessee. That trip was awesome, by the way. You're going to get to see that next. Got home, the new control arm was here. I'm like, great, I'm going to throw that on. I'll just go throw it on. So let me show you something. The reason why it's a week later is, okay, this is the old control arm with the ball joint that I messed up. There's a height sensor that goes in this hole right here. So the new one came, and that hole had no threads in it. I was like, oh, that's fine, we'll just tap them out. The hole was drilled out. The threads were gone, and it was too big. So I got it from Rock Auto. I don't know why, this is like the third time this year I've had to send something back to Rock Auto because the part was wrong, or it was machined wrong, or whatever. So it's difficult to do a return on there. It's like they make it out so it's your fault. Like, you either order the wrong part, or like there's no part where they messed up. Like, whatever. So I did figure that out, and put to have a replacement, so I shipped that one back, and I got this one, and this one came, and guess what? The hole's not threaded again. Thankfully, the hole in this one was it was smaller than the last one I got, and I was able to tap the threads back into it. But if I wasn't, I figured this out already, and I was like, I ordered this at the same time when I sent the other one back. If this one came the same way, I was going to put a helicoil in it, because all it is a height sensor, and I was upset. Oh yeah, and here are my parts that I did in Evaporust. Yes, there's still rust on them, but I mean, for a toxic or non-abrasive cleaner right there, I can reuse it, and I did reuse it twice. Look at all this junk it's in there. That's what came out of the solvent that I strained through here. But yeah, the bolts still have rust on them, but they are in a lot better shape. They're pretty good. So we're just going to use that hardware. But this is a work day, and I still have to go to work tomorrow, but this guy is wanting this car, and I just scheduled to get an alignment done, which is after this weekend. But still, I'm going to go ahead and throw this thing back together right now, since I have this control arm. Beautiful! Ta-da! Okay, so I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be this weekend. I do need to take this out and run it just to make sure we're good everywhere, okay? It threw codes on the dash because of the height sensor going full extension, and then the brakes and all that stuff. Reset everything. Everything's happy again. So, yeah, I just want this. I'm going to start working on that this weekend. Screw this thing. Okay, so we don't need sport mode. Go back to touring mode. We're just gonna take a drive. I don't have to go too far. I just need to get it up to 60, 70 mile an hour to make sure the vibration's gone, which as far out as 2 of those wheels were, I feel pretty certain that we got rid of that. Brakes are 100% better. Just going down my steep driveway, I can tell you that was the issue, was the front rotors. I think drives pretty nice now. And honestly, look at that. Our wheel's straight now. So it was definitely that control arm being bent was throwing our steering off. And it don't even pull anymore. It drives straight, but we still need to get in alignment. I'll be honest with you, the passenger side one is slightly bent, but it's not bent enough where I was worried about it. It's just the forklift was underneath it, and it has a slight bow upwards, and it's very slight. All right, so I have somebody in front of me at the moment, so 60 is about as fast as I can go at the moment, and no vibrations. I like to report that. It actually drives just as nice as mine now. Fingers crossed, this thing's will be gone by the next video, hopefully. Actually, no, it won't be gone by the next video. But it won't be in the garage on the next video because I need to get it out of there. My garage is tainted with Cadillac at the moment and it needs to be cleaned out. Tainted. I have a spot, like if I test drive something and I'm not comfortable selling it, then I will not sell it. At this point, I am comfortable selling it. So, I mean, I don't know, other people some people, used car salesmen, will just slap stuff together just to get it out. I want to make sure that I don't have people contacting me because they need to bring it back for an issue, okay? So I try to make the car as if I was building it for myself, and honestly, that's how you should be doing it if you're reselling vehicles. Also, I have a thought. I seen a car on Marketplace, and it's cheap enough that I could buy it, but I'm not going to because I could build one cheaper. But it was a Impreza. It was a Crosstrack, but it was like my Impreza. But they stripped all the doors, the hatch off of it, like every panel they could, and made it a side-by-side. I think personally I could make one better, and I think it would be a fun build. It won't be an upcoming build, but I'm thinking maybe further in the winter time, maybe picking one of those up and not getting it reconstructed, just turning it into a side-by-side or an off-road vehicle, something that's not street legal. I'd like to beef up the control arms, make them longer with more travel, maybe not much bigger tires, but with just more travel, and then strip out like carpet and Raptor line and stuff like that. I think it would be a fun thing to do, but I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on that. So if you would like to see something like that, drop it down in the comments, let me know. I'm through with this car. So on the way back, I got on it, just, you know, to test it out. And it started misfiring again. I had my scanner with me, and it was showing me cylinder 3 was misfiring a lot. So I got back, pulled the plugs. Plugs looked fine and everything. Don't know why it was telling me cylinder 3, but cylinder 2, the one that was leaking coolant before, guess what? It's got coolant in it again. So I would hate to put another head gasket in this and have the same issue. Obviously, I'm thinking the block was warped, even though I couldn't tell. I'm at a loss right now. I'm going to have to look up engines right now, because I think I'm just going to put a different engine in this one at this point, instead of rebuilding this one again and then having a chance of it happening again. So yeah, you get to see the good and the bad of all this. I probably will not touch another Chevy with a 2.0 turbo in it, especially after this. And I'm happy that mine's a 3.6. But yeah, we're gonna end it right here. I gotta contact the guy that gave me money on this. I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna give him his money back. And yeah, this is where we're at on this. And so the curse continues. Trying to make light of the situation, but it is what it is at this point. I'm not going through this job again. I looked up engines. The cheapest, best option I have, which is the closest engine to me, which is still an hour drive away, it's $2,050, and it has 88,000 miles on it. It's out of an ATS, I believe. Same engine. Comes with everything on it. I don't think the AC compressor's on it, so I'll probably leave that on the car if I can take it out with it on there. I don't know where the lines are all routed. Yeah, they're down in there somewhere. But regardless, this is gonna come out. So, yeah, you guys looking forward to that one? More Cadillac content, and I still have to tear. I think I'm gonna list the parts one for pretty cheap now. Yeah, just because then I can get some money back for the engine and stuff. I'm so through with this car. So if you like this video, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Hit that dislike button if your mom wants me to shove my power plant into her engine bay. And we'll see you on the next episode on Wreck. Kitties, how you doing? Yeah, better than me, huh? Huh? You doing better than me? Yeah. Well, hi, Sully. Oh, look at you two.
So,
boy, would you quit chewing on that mat in your pen?
when he gets pissy, he does
I
that.
swear to you. You better stop it.
He's acting out.
Look at this guy. Hey, big boy, he found a crumb on the floor. Can't get one by him. He eats everything. What are you doing? Huh? Do you want to say bye-bye? Hmm? No.
Maybe I want to clean the bathroom. I want to do it now so I keep moving.
Do you want to say bye-bye?
Or not.